Hey guys, so today's video is on the anatomy of turnout. So as per my previous post, about 60% of turnout originates from the hip. So today's going to focus on just that, the hip joint, the ligaments around the hip, as well as muscles around the hip. Why this is important? Studies have shown that dancers, once they have a better understanding of the anatomy and the actual biomechanics behind turnout, not only do they have a bit more confidence of, trying to control and maintain the turnout of what they've got and trying to achieve more of an optimal active turnout, but it also just gives coaches as well a better understanding to give better visual cues or verbal cues to help dancers get as much turnout as they possibly can. So hopefully you enjoy. Any questions, please follow them down below.
Let's start with the thigh bone, also known as the femur. This bony prominence on the left here is called the greater trochanter. Most of our external rotator muscles, so our turnout muscles, attach here, so it plays a big role in understanding turnout. There are three key ligaments surrounding the hip joint. The iliofemoral ligament extends diagonally across the front of the hip joint. This ligament primarily strengthens the front of the hip, whilst restricting hip extension as well as inhibiting external rotation, in other words, turnout. Additionally, we have the pubofemoral ligament, which connects the pubic bone to the femur, as well as the ischiofemoral ligament, which extends from the ischium to the femur. Overall, all three of these ligaments surrounding the hip restrict extension. So therefore, the more the hip is extended, the harder it is to turn out. This is why it is so difficult to turn out the leg in full arabesque. This is where you can see some dancers with a banana back or lumbar lordotic posture, because they are attempting to flex their hips by tilting their pelvis forward. This in turn creates more laxity in the ligaments, giving some room for more hip rotation to occur to achieve more turnout. Now finally, let's have a look at the muscles that are responsible for turnout from the hip. As you can see posteriorly, so from behind, majority of the muscles attached to that greater trochanter on the femur we saw earlier. That long skinny muscle on the front of the thigh is called sartorius, and it is actually the longest muscle in the human body. As you get a bit of a closer look, you can all see that the muscles are attempting to draw the femur back and opening up that hip joint. Hence, in order to achieve optimal active turnout with these muscles, stretching but mainly strengthening exercises for these muscles should occur. Alright, that brings us to the end of today's video on turnout anatomy. If you would like a more detailed description, please find the Turnout for Dancers Hip Anatomy and Factors Affecting Turnout from the IADMS website. I will link it. Other than that, any questions or feedback, please feel free to message me on Facebook or on Instagram.